好，OK，那个 Lucy 你在吗
Yeah.
？OK，好，Lucy 啊，我给你 make host 给你啊，
Okay.
嗯，OK，好，Lucy 你可以分享一下啊。Lucy 是来自 California 的，
Yeah.
嗯，
Um,
你可以介绍一下你准备去哪个学校？嗯
uh, Hi, I'm Lucy. I'm attending Pratt Institute in Brooklyn as well. I mainly chose it because it has a good program with the major that I want. Um, I am going to be majoring communications design with an emphasis on illustration, which is a unique major. It's basically illustration and graphic design kind of combined. So it's artistic, but it's also like more design focused. And yeah, I guess I'll start with some bits of my portfolio. For design majors, it's important to demonstrate skill in your portfolio. So over the summer, in Xiaoxi's studio, I painted this still life of miscellaneous objects. Basically, she let me choose whatever object that I found interesting, assembled them together, and painted. I think it's really interesting because these are not usually the kind of stuff that I would find assembled together. Uh, and I also took inspiration from other artists as well. For example, I wrote here the artist Tatsuya Tanaka. He would assemble random objects together to create pieces of artworks that are really creative. And I think it's really important to take note from successful artists before us, and it's really helpful. And this piece I personally really liked. It's made from clay, and I modeled it and then painted it over with acrylic paint. And after that, I took a photo and added drawings of myself eating the modeled food. Basically, this piece is titled This is What Art Students Eat. And I got my inspirations from a lot of people in my life constantly telling me that if I want to be an art major, that I will starve. It also can be interpreted differently, but that was my original intent. I think I had a lot of fun making this, and that's also important when you're making your portfolio. Is it's not always necessarily about how like deep or profound you want to make your pieces. That's good, but sometimes it's just about having fun, and then the idea just comes to you. This is a live painting, also done in the art studio, where the model would sit in front of us and we would all paint her. For Pratt, I think you need at least 2 to 3 live drawings. Like basically you have to draw from life. It can't be from a photograph. And this was one of my live drawings. For me, I don't paint really realistically. It's always semi-abstracted with artistic license for each of the pieces. For example, the usage of colors. I deliberately added some orange to the vase, even though it was not originally like that, because I think it's a good reflection of the light, and it also shows my style. Another piece I really liked was this fashion design page. I got this idea from just watching a documentary on sea creatures. And I thought they looked really interesting, and they would make some really nice dresses if you take inspiration from them. And so that's what I made. I also, this might not work for everyone, but I keep like a Pinterest page of like all the things that I find interesting from like other artists. So to see if I can just learn from them, what do they do that's successful, and what I can basically take from that. And yeah. And I think there is this one piece, a bit of a trigger warning. It does have blood in it, not real blood, but I made this clay model after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which made it difficult for women to get birth control and abortions. And this hits really close home to me because personally I have a debilitating chronic disease that makes it really hard for me to live. And I have to take birth control so it wouldn't hurt me as much. So this Supreme Court decision really affected me deeply. And personally, I wanted to do something that advocated for maybe people like me who live in states that make it difficult for them. I used yarn and basically just used a hot glue gun to glue them on. And I remember when I was creating this page with Liu Laoshi, the first hot glue gun that we got did not work. But then we realized that we can use it to add and paint over the glue and add some color to this piece to show that there is indeed hope, even if for a lot of people, especially like people with reproductive health issues, there is hope because there are people advocating and fighting for them, and that we're all in this together. Here are some also life drawings of models in the studio. This is how I discovered that I really like using pens. And this is also really important, is to discover like the mediums that you feel the most comfortable using, because your portfolio is supposed to show the best aspects of yourself. So I used a pen for these figure drawings, and at first I was really scared of using pens because I thought I was gonna mess up and I can't erase it because I didn't have any pencil drawings under it. But then actually I found that using a pen for figure drawings is really freeing. It doesn't necessarily have to be 100% precise, but the flow of it is really good, and I was able to make more dynamic poses and improve like the dynamics of my figure drawings in general. Here, since I wasn't originally going to major in design, but since I applied for this major in Pratt, I wanted to make something that shows that I have like the potential for design, I guess. So I made some color studies with shapes that eventually the shapes form like mushrooms, spores, and carnivorous plants. And I use really bright colors, complementary colors that stood out against each other, but also this was originally planned that the first square was going to be more warm colors, and so even the green I used were more warm compared to the greens I used on the second page. And the yellows and the reds usually stick out against a cool background, so that was intended to be like that. Is there anything else you want me to talk about?
Okay.
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 I guess I'll talk about this piece. This is made digitally. I personally, I do prefer more traditional art, but I wanted to add more diversity into my portfolio, so I made this one. It was originally made from an art project I did back in 10th grade, where our teacher asked us to interview someone we love and write down the response and draw something from the response. So I asked my friend if he were an animal, what would you be? And he said raccoon. This is a recreation of that. Basically, I wanted to make something more lighthearted and humorous and funny. So he said he liked to be a raccoon because they don't care what other people think and they can just dig in trash all day. So I drew a raccoon digging in the trash with a more pastel-y background and generally a more cartoon overall tone to it. So yeah. And I think that's enough with my portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Haluti, you can make oyster to Mumu. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
You probably can't find me. It's Lin, L-I-N. Can you find me?
I found you.
现在可以了。好，是这样的。刚才 Laura 第一个学生哈，因为他可能他一个是要着急走，然后没有机会把他的这个作品集展示一下啊。She did not have a chance to show her portfolio。他今年其实成绩非常好，他的那个拿了2个全奖，然后其他的这些学校也都是最高的奖学金，所以我觉得还是要把他的作品集要分享一下，因为他走得很急。所以我很快的给他看一下，我看可能讲他这个比较好啊。Laura 也是插画专业，他们都是有一个特点啊。刚才有家长问，其实你们在 summer 的时候 ，summer is very precious opportunity for you to take the pre-college camps。那像他这个作品也是在那个 RISD 的 summer camp 完成的。那他的作品里面也有很多的关于 light， 关于 fashion 啊，他有一些自己的 installation， 有传统的 painting， yeah， 有一些自己的self portrait， 那么也有这个手自己做的一些 crafts， 还有这个 installation 对。 然后像他做的这个关于文化的中国文化的这种这个饺子一家人团圆的这个作品也是很不错的大家就是给大家看一下吧，他的作品送出去的作品。这2个视频我发现好像放不出来，现在那就下次吧。这是他的当时他很喜欢 crocheting 那么他 crocheting 的时候他就做了这个作品以后，然后把它做到一个很好的一个 video 没有看得到那这个视频是跟着 RISD 的这个作品来的。那这个作品其实它有它的深度就是说中间是头发，表示的是一种相关的联系那么there's a connection between these two portraits and it suggests bounding and unbounding 对吧 and disconnect然后有一些风景的画人物的画你是有创意的，也有自己的 process 对，这是他的当时的这个那个下围棋的那个下围棋他其实也有他很喜欢画关于我们自己文化的作品他的父母他们我们 Asian 的这个 face 他画进去，然后呢这个就是说在疫情的期间 during COVID right 然后他是去那个 senior house 这里有很多的这个老人在一起，他就把这个镜头画下来对，好，我就帮他 share 这么多。
OK 好的